Like, people are forgetting when she moved into Swizz and them's house to work on the music with him, he was still married to his wife, living in that same house. And then she moved in while she was cool with the wife. It's plotting to steal her husband to cover up the fact.
This drama is heating up fast because Alicia Keys is not playing the loyal wife anymore. If anyone thought she was just gonna sit back while Swizz Beatz ran wild, think again. Social media is exploding right now with claims that Alicia has officially ended their marriage, all because Swizz allegedly couldn't keep it together. Now everyone's asking who's real and who's fake, because word on the street says Swizz didn't just step out once, he might have gotten his side chick pregnant. Yup, insiders are whispering that Alicia's done for real this time, and she's got a whole new empire state of mind. The divorce papers are reportedly in, that wedding ring is off, and Alicia is packing up and walking away from all the chaos. But hold up, this isn't some one-time mistake. This scandal runs deep. Rumors are swirling that Swizz has been creeping with this same woman for a while, maybe even right under Alicia's nose. And if this pregnancy rumor turns out to be real, that could have been the final hit in a marriage that's been crumbling behind the scenes. Now everybody's shook, asking the same questions. How could you do Alicia like that? How long has she known? And just how messy is this situation about to get? Insiders are spilling tea left and right. Alicia's had enough. From what's being said online, she's not just leaving quietly, she's getting ready to storm out and take back her power. No more playing nice. Word is, she already hired one of the toughest celebrity divorce lawyers in the game. This lawyer doesn't play, and Alicia's ready to make Swizz wish he never messed with her heart like that. So what really went down? This wasn't just your typical affair. Swizz allegedly got exposed over a long-term situation with this mystery woman he's been sneaking around with behind the scenes. And if everything people are saying is true, this might just be the scandal that flips everything upside down. Let's just say, things are about to get real messy, and here's the part that's got everyone straight up gasping. Word is the woman Swizz has been creeping with is pregnant. That's right. He's about to have a baby with someone who isn't his wife. And Alicia? She's not about to sit around playing stepmom to her man's side chick's baby. No way! Even though Alicia tried to keep things quiet, the streets were watching real close. She got spotted out in public recently, and fans immediately knew something was off. She wasn't just minding her business. She was ducking cameras, clearly trying not to be seen. That had people buzzing instantly. Then boom, here comes the truth. Insiders spilled that Alicia wasn't just running errands. She had just stepped out of her divorce attorney's office. And now, fans are convinced she's trying to keep it low-key until she hits Swizz with those surprise divorce papers. Allegedly, she's about to blindside him. No heads up, just a clean cut. Swizz is about to find out the hard way that Alicia ain't the one to play with. For years now, whispers have been following their marriage like a dark cloud. Stories kept floating around, Swizz creeping with different women, side chicks trying to make noise, and messy rumors always bubbling right beneath the surface. Folks been talking about this since forever, but Swizz always shut it down quick, saying he was loyal, saying Alicia was his one and only, and every time, somehow, he managed to walk away looking clean. But not this time. This ain't just internet gossip or some anonymous claim. There's allegedly a whole baby in the mix now, and you can't lie your way out of a paternity test. Now that Alicia's reportedly lawyering up and making her moves in silence, it's looking like Swizz might have finally fumbled the one person who held him down through all the noise. And get this, it's not even brand new tea. Multiple blind items have been hinting at this exact situation for years. So if the rumors are true, everything is finally crashing down at once, and this time there's no smooth talking his way out of it. One of those blind items from way back in 2021 basically spilled everything before it even hit the fan. It said, "Don't believe the hype, because that famous end of the alphabet loving producer / rapper was out here cheating, just real low key with it. He'd never mess with another big public name again, because the last time he did that, he ended up having to marry her." Now fast forward to today, and tell me that doesn't sound exactly like Swizz with a capital S. The clues were there, and fans are now realizing the math's been mathing this whole time. Then another blind item dropped even more tea. It said that a former A+ list singer, now A- list, had been super busy working on a new TV gig, while her husband was loving the freedom and stepping out with one of his artist protege, someone he believed would blow up soon, and boom, that lines up too perfectly. Alicia was busy with The Voice, and Swizz was out here mentoring up-and-comers. Now it's sounding a lot less blind and a lot more like real life. So the big question, is Alicia finally done and ready to leave all this behind with a whole new empire state of mind? But as messy as this whole breakup is, not everybody's crying tears for her. Let's keep it real for a sec. This situation kind of mirrors how it all started. The internet never forgets, and fans are quick to remind everyone that when Alicia first got with Swizz, he was still married to his ex, singer Mashonda. That scandal had the blogs in a headlock for months. Alicia caught major heat for allegedly getting involved with a married man. People still bring up that infamous quote from Joseline, "Close your legs to married men." And now, over a decade later, fans are saying it's giving full circle energy. You lose them how you get them, they say. Swizz was legally married to Mashonda when things started with Alicia, and Mashonda did not stay silent. She dragged Alicia hard on social media. The whole thing blew up after Alicia tweeted something deep like, "Is it better to go for the choice that's smart or for the choice that has spark?" And Mashonda didn't hold back. She clapped back with a full open letter, calling Alicia out for stepping into her marriage and pretending it was some fairy tale love story. The streets never forgot. And now folks are wondering if history's just repeating itself, with Alicia on the other side this time. Fans were shocked back then, and that was the exact moment the public started turning on Alicia. When Mashonda clapped back, she didn't hold anything back. She claimed she actually reached out to Alicia, woman to woman, letting her know she and Swizz were still married at the time. But according to Mashonda, Alicia didn't care at all. In her now infamous open letter, Mashonda said, "In the messages that I sent to her, AK, I made it very clear that contrary to what she might be hearing, I'm still married to my husband, living with him, and had just had a child." She added, "It's been 2 years and I still haven't received a response. What I do receive is constant displays of selfishness and disregard for me and my son." Mashonda believed Alicia at first, until she started suspecting that Alicia was already sleeping with her husband. Both Alicia and Swizz denied the affair, until months later, when it finally came out that it was true. And what made it even worse, Mashonda said she begged Alicia to back off so she could try to fix her marriage, but Alicia didn't. In that same letter, Mashonda quoted one of Alicia's own lyrics, "If I was your woman and you were my man," and used it to call her out directly. She wrote, "You know the role you played and how you contributed to the end of my marriage. You know I asked you to step back and let me handle my family problems that you helped create." That moment, it never left people's minds. So now that Alicia is allegedly facing the same kind of betrayal she once looked away from, folks are calling it straight up karma. And if you ask Mashonda, Alicia wasn't just sneaking around with Swizz, she was actively pushing him to leave his marriage altogether. And once Swizz finally gave in and filed for divorce, everything exploded. Because according to insiders, Alicia didn't just play a part in the breakup, she also allegedly tried to get Swizz to fight for full custody of his son with Mashonda, Kasim Jr. That was the final spark that turned a messy situation into a full-on war. Things between Alicia and Mashonda got ugly, fast. The tension dragged on for years, and fans have never forgotten. So now that history might be spinning back around, people aren't holding back. They're calling it karma, and saying Alicia might finally be getting a taste of what she once dished out. But eventually, Mashonda decided to put her son first and called for a truce between her, Swizz, and Alicia. The three of them agreed to it, at least on the surface. But insiders say Alicia wasn't exactly thrilled about the idea. She didn't jump for joy or embrace the peace talks out of love. She just went along with it because the heat from the public was getting too loud. She was already being dragged all over the internet as a homewrecker, and the last thing she wanted was more drama blowing up in her face. So while it looked like everyone was getting along, folks close to the situation claim it was more about saving face than making real peace. And they even made a few public appearances together to push the image, one of them being that ABC interview we're about to get into. In the interview, they all smiled and spoke about building a strong co-parenting dynamic, claiming they had put the past behind them and were focused on the kids. It sounded squeaky clean, like 3 grown adults rising above all the mess for the sake of the children. Real picture-perfect vibes, but let's keep it real. At the end of the day, it was Mashonda, the one who got cheated on, who actually stepped up and put the parenting first. She didn't want her son stuck in the middle of the drama, so she swallowed her pride and helped make it work. And while everyone was giving Mashonda props for taking the high road, Alicia reportedly didn't like being pushed into the background. That's when, allegedly, Alicia started working overtime to clean up her image, launching polished PR moves to flip the script and show herself as anything but the homewrecker people painted her to be. But you already know Ms. Jaguar Wright wasn't about to let Alicia rewrite that story. She clapped back loud and clear, saying there was an affair and that it started while Alicia was actually living with Swizz and Mashonda.
He wanted to know why I couldn't go see him at his dad's, and why can't his dad come over and see his bedroom at our house? It was really a wake-up call. Even if we don't want to for ourselves right now, we have to do it for him because he doesn't deserve it.
According to Jaguar, Alicia moved in using the excuse of working on music, but that wasn't the only thing she was working on. She claimed Alicia started hooking up with Swizz right under the same roof where Mashonda and her child were living. And honestly, for a while it really looked like Alicia had escaped all the karma, like she was untouchable. But here's what she seemed to forget. Swizz had a history, a long track record. And now, that same track record might be coming right back around full circle. Now here's where things get even wilder, because just when folks thought this whole saga had peaked, more whispers started swirling that Alicia might not have been the only one blindsided. Rumor has it Swizz wasn't just juggling one side situation, but multiple. Insiders are saying he's been living like a bachelor for a while now, sliding in DMs, flying solo at events, and acting like his marriage was already over before Alicia even filed anything. And here's the real kicker. People close to the scene claim Alicia found out about the pregnancy through someone else. Not from Switzerland, not from the other woman, but from a third party who couldn't stay quiet anymore. Imagine thinking your marriage is shaky, only to learn from the grapevine that your husband might be expecting a baby with someone else. That's next level disrespect. Now fans are wondering if this whole relationship had cracks for years, and Alicia just kept smiling through it, trying to protect the brand. Because let's not forget, Alicia's image has always been polished, classy, empowering, but behind the scenes, insiders say she was dealing with constant whispers, cryptic DMS, and little red flags she kept ignoring. Some sources are even claiming Alicia once confronted Swizz about one of his artist sessions that went on way too late, and came back with lipstick on a wine glass that wasn't hers. He played it off like nothing, but now that everything's coming out, fans are connecting the dots, and they're not buying his smooth-talking act anymore. And while Swizz has stayed quiet lately, that silence is loud. No denial, no statement, just business as usual on social media like nothing's falling apart. But that's not fooling anybody anymore. People online are now digging up old interviews, old posts, even subtle lyrics from Alicia's music that they think hinted at all the pain she was hiding. One fan even pointed out a line from one of her songs where she sings about a broken promise disguised in gold. And now, that bar hits way different. The internet's watching this fall apart in real time, and fans are saying Alicia might finally be done covering up for him. No more matching outfits, no more red carpets, no more fairy tale. Because now, with this alleged baby, the cheating trails, and Alicia lawyering up, it's looking like this love story just hit its final note. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, boom! Another twist hits the timeline. Social media is now buzzing with talk that the alleged side chick might be getting bold with it. According to online chatter, she's been dropping cryptic captions and liking shady posts that fans think are aimed directly at Alicia. We're talking about he chose peace memes, pregnancy selfies with captions like blessed and chosen, and one post that had folks heated where she wrote, "Real love doesn't hide." Whew! The internet is in full detective mode and screenshots are everywhere. Some fans even claim they saw Swizz liking one of her posts before quickly unliking it, but not fast enough. People caught it, and now the rumor mill is spinning harder than ever. If this woman is pregnant with his child and she's out here being this bold, that's a different level of messy. And let's talk about timing, because Alicia's been quiet, real quiet. But people close to her are saying she's not silent because she's weak. She's silent because she's planning. Word is she's been stacking her team, keeping her moves airtight, and making sure when she walks out with her dignity, her coins, and the upper hand. There's also talk that Alicia's about to pour it all into her music. Yep. Sources say she's been back in the studio heavy, and this heartbreak might fuel her next big comeback. And if we're being real, a Scorched Earth Alicia Keys album about betrayal, pain, and power, that would shake the industry. Meanwhile, fans are clowning Swizz online, saying he fumbled a whole queen for a feature he could have left in the drafts. One comment even said he turned a Grammy night into Maury Monday. The memes are brutal and they keep coming. But here's the part nobody saw coming. Some fans are now wondering if this whole mess could spiral into a public custody battle. With so many moving parts and a potential new baby on the way, it's not just about heartbreak anymore. It's about legacy, reputation, and who controls the narrative. At this point, Alicia's not just walking away from a marriage, she's walking away from the lies, the image she protected, and maybe even from the woman people thought she was. Because one thing's for sure, she's not staying quiet much longer. And when she speaks, it's gonna be loud. Alicia wasn't the first woman Swizz cheated with, and she definitely wasn't the second. She was just the one he happened to marry. Let's rewind to the early 2000s because the dirt goes way back. When Mashonda was pregnant with their first child, Swizz was already doing her dirty. He had an affair with a woman named Nicole Levy, and it gets even worse. Nicole ended up pregnant at the exact same time Mashonda was carrying his baby. While Mashonda was dealing with heartbreak and stress from the betrayal, she was also trying to carry that child. And sadly, the pain was too much. Reports say the emotional toll caused serious complications in the pregnancy, and their baby was tragically stillborn. Still, Mashonda forgave him. They went on to officially get married in 2004, but it didn't stop there. Fast forward a few years, remember how Alicia and Swizz allegedly started getting close around 2007 or 2008? Well, turns out Swizz was already messing around with another woman during that same period. Her name? Johanna Sebastian. And yep, she ended up having his daughter, Nicole. So at the time, he was still married to Mashonda, creeping with Alicia, and sneaking around with Johanna. That's not just cheating, that's a full-blown double life. And Alicia? She didn't seem to mind back then, but now, the tables have turned and they've turned hard. 17 years later and the pattern allegedly hasn't changed. Swizz is once again being accused of stepping out, and this time the streets are saying his side chick is pregnant again. Not newly pregnant either, word is she's about to give birth any day now. If that's true, Swizz is about to be a father of 6 and Alicia's marriage is hanging on by a thread. This baby rumor? That was Alicia's final straw. She might have looked the other way when it came to the flirty texts, those sketchy late-night studio sessions, and even some of the quiet little affairs, but a whole baby? That was never part of the deal. She's not about to play stepmom to another newborn from a side chick, especially when that's exactly how Swizz's last marriage blew up. And the irony? Alicia had no problem stepping into that role when she was the other woman. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, she's not sticking around for it, so there it is. After years of rumors, whispers, and emotional wreckage, the truth is out in the open. Swizz didn't just cheat, he allegedly doubled down, had a whole affair, and possibly got someone pregnant again. And Alicia? She's not cleaning up that mess. This divorce? It's not just about betrayal, it's about reclaiming herself. Shutting the door on a toxic chapter, even if once upon a time she helped write the first page. But here's the big question. What happens next in this never-ending Swizz saga? Will they shock the world and somehow stay together? Will Swizz try to fight back? Or is this finally the end of their 15-year roller coaster? One thing's for sure, two things for certain, this story ain't over. Not by a long shot, and you better believe we'll be right here watching every single twist, every messy move, and every new page in Alicia's diary.